Hi everybody. This might be my first video I've ever made for YouTube. I don't have fancy equipment and I'm not a YouTube personality, so you won't see my face. But I will hopefully help you make some money, or at least save you some money in this time of uncertainty with Bitcoin. I did use Profit Trailer for a little bit, and also Profit Trailer with the feeder. If you're looking at this video, you've probably heard of that bot. It did okay at first until Bitcoin started going up and down. It seems like the altcoins are dropping as Bitcoin goes up, and they drop even more when Bitcoin goes down. So it's really hard to make a profit on Profit Trailer right now without getting a bunch of bags, because Bitcoin can change directions at the drop of a hat. So I've been using this uh, trading bot for a while too. This one is all user interface based, all graphical. There's no coding or setup files or anything. So this one's a little bit more user friendly, and you might be able to get this one going a little easier than going into Discord for hours asking people for settings and such, which I see many people doing. My bot's not buying anything. I got bags, so forth. This one should probably help you out. Um, so basically, the way this works is you subscribe to different subscription services. I'm always subscribed to the Kangaroo. The Kangaroo Hopper runs every 2 minutes and scans your strategies to see if it can make a buy. There's also the Hare, which is every 5 minutes, and then there's the Bunny, which is every 10 minutes. And each one has its other variables as far as how many coins it will scan, and also other strategies that are available and so forth. But the Kangaroo is $100 a month, the Hare is 50, and the Bunny is 20. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. You do get a month for free to try it out. I think it's worth setting it up on an exchange, using the month for free and giving it $100, or 200, $300 to play with and see what it does. And then you can always subscribe later if it works out well for you. But I'll go over what I was doing and what my new strategy is, and I will make an update video for this for my new strategy once it pans out. So basically what this does is you subscribe to the service, which I did. I have Kangaroo. Then you connect it to an exchange. This works on many exchanges. It works on Kraken, Poloniex, Bittrex, GDAX. And GDAX was the most exciting to me with Bitcoin being the way it is and the uncertainty with Tether. Everybody's freaking out about if Tether's a viable, stable option because it's not supported by real money or whatever. On GDAX, it's US dollar based. So I'm trading on GDAX against US dollar and Bitcoin, riding that Bronco. So basically, what I have is if I go to my hoppers, you'll see I have it set up for GDAX right now. This does not give this the ability to transfer funds off the exchange, so don't worry about that. It just makes trades for you. So I know this people are probably worried about if this is going to steal your money. It can't. The API key you give it doesn't allow it to do that. I'll go back to the dashboard here. This is your interface. The nice thing is you can log into this from your phone instantly. If you think the market's doing something funny, you can stop the hopper totally by just tapping on the screen. Enable buying or enable selling. And then you can also do manual orders. This is the target it's looking for, and so forth. And then there's also a panic button that you can hit that will actually stop the hopper and sell all the positions immediately if you want to bail out. But I've never had to do that, and I think with the new thing I have set up, I'll have to do that even less chance anyway. And so basically, what you do is you go to the configuration here, and I'll show you what I have running. So right now I only have the base currency set for US dollars. And the only coin I want to trade is Bitcoin. These other ones probably have some good potential too, obviously, but with Bitcoin being the sole coin that everybody's following right now, that's what I'm doing. I have my strategy set on multiple factors. This has a lot of different things you can do with it, and I'll do more videos for that later. But right now, for this, to get you started, I have it set on multiple technical analysis factors. I'm going on one target because I only have one coin selected. if I go to this advanced multiple TA settings, I'll show you what my plan is. I have my candle size set at 2 hours, and I want it to buy Bitcoin when the MACD crosses over. You can set up, by default it will automatically have this set. This is the standard MACD settings. And then I want this yes. So when the MACD crosses over, it will buy. And if you don't know what that is, I'll give you an example. So on TradingView here, this is our volatility we got going on, obviously. But right here is our MACD. So when this green line crosses right here, it will make a buy because the trend is moving up. So it would buy right here. And then I also have it set to sell based on strategy, which is a new feature, and that's why I'm so excited, because this was not available before, and I'll explain that in a minute and why that's going to make a difference. So basically it will buy right here when that green crosses over and carry it up until it crosses over again. I can't get to the top, but it would have been about 7% gain. I can do a lower one here to make it a little bit easier. So if it would have bought right around here and carried that up around 8% on that one. So the goal here is to buy it when you know it's on an upward trend, and buy it and hold it through most of that trend until it starts falling back down. And the way that I used to do it, and the only way you used to be able to do it on here really, was to use a different strategy where you could use this to buy it, or you could use stochastic RSI to buy it, so that when it was oversold, when it got down here below 20 or 10 on the RSI, then it would buy right here. And as you can see, it goes up. But then you don't know how high it's going to go. So like if I had it set for RSI, yeah, it might buy here, but how high is that going to go? Well, you can enable a trailing stop loss on here. So okay, after 2%, if it drops, a 0.5%, I want it to sell. Well, that's great, but you look at some of these and it drops a lot. So I mean, like this one here, I mean, you got a 2.8% drop there. Some of these other ones are big too. It would have sold out before it ever got to the top. And so I was struggling with setting up my stop loss correctly to make the most profit without bailing out early. Well, now that they allow you to sell based on that too, you can buy when it's safer, and sell when you're at the near end of that run. So that's my new strategy, is to use the 2-hour candles, maximize that run. And as you can see, I've had this thing running for a few days now, and it hasn't made a buy yet because, as you can see, and as you've known, Bitcoin has been on a downtrend for the past few days, and it's waiting for the right time for that to reverse and actually make the buy. And the reason that's so nice is it could be 2 in the morning when it makes this turnaround, and it would automatically buy for me, and I would have bought at the right time, versus me staring at these charts all the time wondering when it's going to turn around. And you can also change this, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can change it down to 30 minutes or so. But then you ran into the problem I did earlier today when I was testing, and it made it buy here. Well, then by the time it closed out, I mean, it was about the same level by the time that thing crossed back over. So, I mean, I really didn't make any money there. And I probably, by the time you incorporate fees and such, I actually lost money on that one. This one, it would have made money, but you never know what you're going to get, how far it's going to run. So the 2-hour candles really give you more leeway there to make a better trend. And if you really want to make sure you maximize your money, you could put it on 4 hours. I mean, this is all the way from the start of the recovery. I mean, it would have followed it from around here all the way up. to about there, 23%. It probably would have bought here because it crossed over, but that's okay because it still carried it all the way up. Yeah, actually it would have sold right there because it crossed over again. But it would have rebought down here, and you would have rode that all the way up. And I can't tell from my view if it crossed over there or not, but if it didn't, I mean, you're riding it all the way up there for another 28%. So it's a lot safer than buying coins and hoping that they go up a few percent and then selling them. I mean, you're getting this huge gain. It might take a couple days to get that, 8 or 10%, but it's gonna get it. And this is what every other coin is based on right now. So that's my new strategy. Um, Hopefully you play around with it as well. I'll go over some of the other settings here. So this was where you select what coins you want to trade against. GDAX only has 4 coins, so there's not a lot. But Bittrex has, almost 200. So that's a lot more advanced. And that's not for this video. But this is what I'm doing, just Bitcoin, multiple technical analysis factors, one target. I want to sell on my strategy that I used to buy with also, which is the MACD. This is not really used right now. This is for if you just want to only make a certain profit percentage. Like if I'm on 5-minute candles and as soon as it hits 1% profit and I want it to sell, this is where you'd put 1%. You can also program it to make different percentages on your buys for your bid and ask. Um, I have it set to negative 0.1%, so it actually bids 0.1% higher to make sure that sale goes through right away. I don't want it waiting. Same thing for when I sell. I don't want it to not sell. I want it to sell instantly so I'm not stuck with it. So I do 0.02% higher on that, which is negative 0.02. It can do arbitrage as well automatically. Um, and then you can also set a stop loss here. So if it drops 1.5% below your purchase price or whatever you want, I don't have a stop loss set because it will automatically sell when the MACD crosses over anyway. Um, this is the trailing stop loss I was talking about. So earlier, well, what I used to do was I would use the RSI, the stochastic RSI to buy in, and then I would, okay, at 1.25% profit, it would start and it would activate this trailing stop loss. And if it dropped by 0.25%, it would sell. So it would carry up as high as it could and then it would sell automatically. I don't use that anymore though. I'm going to try this MACD crossover. Um, this is how you program how long you want it to hold the sales open. So I'm giving it 30 minutes to sell a position after it sells it, after it marks it to sell, because I'm on 2-hour candles. Same thing for buy. Once it tries to buy something, that order's open for 30 minutes before it's canceled. I'm only doing 4 positions. Um, you can allocate how much percentage you want per coin. I'm only doing 1 coin, so I want 100% of my balance to go to that coin. If I did 25% here and I had 4 coins, it would do 25% per coin. And all of these, I should have mentioned this earlier, but all of these question marks will tell you what this does. So unlike Profit Trailer and you're wondering what you're filling out, this form that you're filling out, if you click on it, it gives you a description. So you're like, oh, okay, and you fill that in. So I'm doing 24% per order, so that gives me a total of 96%. But I want to make sure that with rounding and everything that I get 4 full orders out of all my money. I'm going to say I'm going to allocate 4,000. I only have 3,500 in there right now, but as I make profit, I want it to eventually be able to use 4,000. And then you can also have it notify you on trade when it makes a buy. And the way I did that was it normally sends you an email, but what I did was your cell phone provider will send you a text message through email as well. Just look up how to do that through your cell phone provider. So I have Verizon, so mine is my phone number and then at vtex.com. So when this thing makes a buy, it basically sends me a text message saying that it bought something, and then when it sold something, so I know. But so that's it. That's what I have set up. Um, they also have a forum, and then also they have some videos on this academy. But it's kind of a new thing. There's not a lot of people into this because I think that it's not as popular on YouTube. I think it's pretty good. It does a lot, and it's got a lot of strategies that you can use, but there's not a lot of support for it because there's not a lot of people promoting it online, and I think that's why most people haven't heard of it yet, but I think they will. And hopefully this video finds you and you use it to make some money, some smart money, making smart buys. But I will give you an update whenever this thing makes an actual buy, when that 2-hour MACD turns around, and we'll start seeing what profit we can get off this thing. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Check back, and I'll have some more later. Thanks.